nostalgic to us, but is like corny and has got that fun feel to it. A lot of the movies now, like the Batman, is like really dark and serious. So going back and looking at some of these other movies is a lot of fun for us. And we did Double Dragon way back in the day. That was a lot of fun. And then we did Mystery Men, but it turns out that YouTube doesn't like when we use free clips that are available to everybody. So it doesn't let us post those. So
Yeah.
we're trying it again today with the Phantom. The Phantom from 1996
Indeed.
was directed by Simon Windsor, and they had a $45 million budget. But they only grossed 23 million, so they
Dude,
lost quite a bit of money.
that's higher than what I saw, because I had written down 17 million that they brought
really?
in. But that was 17 million was all I could find were US numbers. So
Oh, no shit. Okay.
maybe the rest of the world bumped it up a bit.
Oh, it's probably domestic totals was the 17.
Yeah.
And then I think the rest of it was from around the world.
Yeah. So thankfully for them, they recovered a little bit more.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, just to add a few things and let you guys know a little tiny bit more about the Phantom. So it was it's pretty nuts, man. It is started out as a daily comic in 1936. Which predates Superman by 2 years and Batman by 3 years. And it was this isn't actually the first like film or TV adaptation that happened. They tried it a few different ways and a few different times. Let's see. They had a TV show in 1943 that was 15 episodes. Then they had a second TV show in 1955. But during the first production, for starting this new show, the company lost the rights to the Phantom, so they had to change the show to the Adventures of Captain Africa. They changed up some of the suit and some of the other things. And then fast forward to 1986, and they had a cartoon that was actually somehow it was one season but 65 episodes. And that was actually the Phantom was part of a bigger team called Defenders of the Earth. And that was 86 to 87. And then 1994, they actually brought back another cartoon Phantom, but it was Phantom 2040. So it was part of the weird 90s where they tried to put everything in the future in like the 2000s. And this one's especially weird because the episodes and everything was pulled directly from the 1930s daily comic strips, but just set in the future. So
interesting.
Super weird.
Yeah, 2040 is fucking far away from back then, dude. So
yeah. And then we went from that to the 1996 film. And then there's actually been a adaptation that I had no idea about since the film that we're going to discuss. In 2009, the Sci-Fi Channel actually had a miniseries based on it.
Oh, dude, hell yeah! I was looking at that last night because I was pulling up just to kind of look at a few things about it, and I saw the like the updated suit and then the look of it, and it definitely looks like they tried to make it cooler than what the movie was.
Yeah, just to give you guys a quick visual, that's the 2009 Sci-Fi Channel one. So it's a little bit Judge Dredd. It's a little bit weird space stuff going on. But yeah.
Before we truck on, oh, there we go, dude. Okay,
yeah,
I wasn't seeing it, man.
I spotted that. Yeah.
I was looking at for whatever's getting sent to Discord. Like I'm just looking at your cabinets in the background, so I'm listening to you talk, but I'm not like seeing your face.
Yeah, not seeing the actual stream.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah. Hey, Battle, what's up? Yeah. So that just to catch us up, that's a brief history. The Phantom. Just a few fun facts. Also, he's thought to be the first costume superhero and also the first superhero with white eyes that that we see still to this day in Batman and Flash and all these other things.
Right.
And I thought this was weird too. So the comic strip started in 36, but it wasn't in color until 1939. So 1939, 3 years after this comic's been going, and it spread worldwide. That was the first time we saw the iconic Phantom like purple costume, and it was actually dependent. The color of the costume was actually dependent on where the newspaper was being printed, because some smaller newspapers didn't have purple. Some smaller newspapers were in countries where purple represented something else. So it's like, dude, like there was like blue, there was green, there was brown, there was like yellow or orange. So it's freaking nuts, dude.
Battle says we just answered that question from 2 weeks ago.
Colors were released in
39.
39. That's right. We did answer that question. The invention of colors.
Yeah, color was there.
Yeah. Everything else was black and white. Everybody was wearing black and white clothes before 39.
Oh, totally. That's how it goes, dude.
Yeah.
So you want to jump? When did you last watch this, dude? Did you watch it yesterday or did you watch it before then?
So I before Legion of Geeks, we were talking about covering this in another podcast that Marcus was a part of. So I think that was the last time I watched it. I briefly watched a little bit of it this morning, just a quick refresher.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, before, I'd say a few months ago, but before that, I think the last time I saw it was maybe when I rented it at Blockbuster in like 98, dude.
Holy shit, I know. That feels like forever ago. Dude, I remember watching it at the theater.
Same.
When I was a kid. But like I had a memory of being in the theater, but I didn't actually remember any of the plot. So I haven't seen it since then. And I watched it last night for the first time. So
dude.
Battle says it's Billy Zane. Yes, sir, it's Billy Zane.
The one and only Billy Zane.
Christy Swanson is also in this movie.
Dude, Captain Zeta Jones.
I know. She's a bad guy in this one.
Yeah, she does turn. We'll get into the story, but she does turn into a good guy by the end. But it's weird and discombobulated.
Dude, it's so funny. Christy Swanson, and then I'm kind of sidetracking real quick, but remember from Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah,
and she's in it, but her name is Christy Boner.
Yeah.
So whenever I was watching it last night, every time I saw her, I was like, dude, it's Christy Boner.
That's hella funny.
Shall we?
We shall. First things first, I think it's only appropriate if we watch the trailer together.
Oh, nice. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me swap over. Let me know if it's too loud too, guys.
Oh, it's never too loud for the fans.
Just take a look around. Darkness rules the earth.
And really quick, to get this, clip that's already on YouTube, to repost it onto YouTube, you might notice there's a little shift in audio. So this isn't a chopped and screwed trailer version. This isn't some weird, EDM remix. But yeah, just take that into account.
No, this is the actual movie.
Governments crumble. Chaos reigns.
In a treacherous time.
Super demonic.
Opportunity
Dude.
Chaos.
Evil is a fact.
We shall succeed where
I'm going to bring this up when we talk about it in a few minutes, but
supernatural power.
There's so much of this film that looks like like it was taken right from Indiana Jones.
Stop them.
Absolutely.
Is a phantom.
That shot, dude.
Who was that guy? Somebody I already killed.
The action. The legend.
There are some who say he is only a myth.
Man, they really made this movie look cooler than it really was, wasn't it?
The phantom is real.
Dude, and those text graphics, dude.
That's
I
beautiful.
love how 90s it is, and holy shit, man. And I know we talked about it briefly when I first brought up this movie, but dude, that ring. How fucking sick is that ring, dude?
Dude, that was one of the things that I remember most about this movie was owning the ring because they sold it. So I forget where. I think it was like part of a promotion somewhere, but I remember like really wanting it so badly, and then my dad got it for me, and so I had the ring and I wore it like every day.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I remembered about the movie up until I watched it last night. So I
Holy
didn't know
shit.
if like I even enjoyed it or not. I just remember like wanting to wear the ring because it was so sick.
Yeah, it was super cool, dude. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was during the time. The only other movie I remember doing this was actually Free Willy, and they actually shrink wrapped the Free Willy. It was a necklace. They shrink wrapped it to like the front of the DVD or VHS, whatever it was.
Oh, dude, I remember that one.
So
It's the necklace that the kid wears, right?
yeah, so I think they
Yeah.
might have done that with this, with the ring too. It was either that or one of the mail in things. But I remember
Yeah.
that shit because I had it too, man.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, how could you not? It was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, and I remember trying to take it and trying to make a bruise on like my palm to see if it made like a skull bruise.
Uh,
Holy shit, man.
so real quick before we get going, dude, I don't. Did you take that, or did you see the picture that I put in Dropbox for the? It's like the poster.
Yes.
Can you throw that up real quick? Okay. So that, I mean, apart from it being like an incredible poster, look at all that purple. But like the text, right? It's so 90s, like slam evil exclamation point.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's subdued. It's like weird. It's like, you know, they're
Yeah.
like, we want it in your face, but not in front of the fist. The fist has got to be the front.
oh yeah, dude, the fist. But like after watching it last night, that's such a huge spoiler. It's like the whole key to the movie is right there on the poster, and you don't even know that until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to, but
The
when I
Easter
saw it
eggs,
this
dude.
morning, I was like, dude, what the yeah, like they like spoiled the movie. Um Battle says, so the Phantom is just gonna fuck evil? Yeah. Fuck it right in its face. With the skull ring.
Yeah, it's funny because when I think of slam, for whatever reason, I think of like taking shots, dude. And so it's like this dude just gonna like pound like beers of like evil or fucking yeah. Or Battle says just fist evil.
Dude, this is so funny.
With the ring
sorry,
on.
this is totally off topic, but I have the stream manager open on my iPad, and like I see the word fuck there, but I'm looking on my phone too as like in part of my other account, and it's got it blurred out.
Oh
Like it's
yeah.
got fuck blurred out.
Some sensors. It could be, yeah. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah. Sometimes it does
So,
that with options.
yeah. Anyways, you ready to get into it, man?
Yeah, let's go, dude.
All right, cool. So right off the bat, right? As soon as the very first frame comes on, it had me laughing already.
Same,
It's like
same
it's
here.
just a title card, and it says for those who came in late. And I thought
That's
that
how
was
it
like a
started.
really weird choice to have as your first words that people see. It's like super aggressive and like implying that everybody that's in there is just, well, I guess like trash bags, and they're just gonna show up late to the movie.
Dude,
I don't know.
dude,
you know?
and I tried to look up a history, right? I was thinking maybe this is a comic thing. Maybe it's, you know what I mean? Like in comics, how they have like they start out with like like meanwhile or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking possibly it's that, but I couldn't find shit on it, dude. I don't know where it came from, why it's there. I didn't even find an explanation.
Yeah. There is none. It's just weird. And like to think, I don't know, like who thought of that? They were trying to be funny, right? And like, oh, let's be campy and let's try and we're gonna set the tone that this is gonna be like a really lighthearted movie. And
Yeah.
but like when I saw it last night, I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? For those who came in late, like I've been here, you know, like I'm sitting in the theater. I was always one of the people that would show up early, like super early to a movie,
Oh,
just to make sure I watched the previews and all that stuff.
because dude,
And
this was before YouTube. This was before any other way to watch trailers besides like on the DVD or, you know, pre VHS. So
Mhm.
This is when you got the new shit.
Yeah. And I would, dude, I was just talking to Kevin about that when I went to go see him when we watched Batman together. It was like, man, there's there's no surprise anymore with trailers. Like you know, you would go to a movie and you're like, man, I wonder what they're gonna show. Like, I wonder what's coming out. We don't know at all. And it's like now you have these announcements that the trailer is gonna premiere on YouTube this Friday at 10 a.m. PST, and like everybody be here, and then there's like a million people that watches it at the same time. But like it's coming. So you're just the only surprise is what the trailer shows. But
And
like back in the day, we didn't even know what movie was coming out. So you would sit down and like the previews come on, and then you're like, oh shit, like the new Batman's coming out. I had no idea the preview was gonna show.
yeah, and the only way was like word of mouth, like at school or whatever, dude, was like, you know, it's like, oh man, such and such, you know, movies coming out. I just saw the trailer when I saw this movie, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, exactly, dude. It's
yeah,
like go watch Phantom because they played the new Batman trailer before it.
yeah,
And then like you have all these people doing that. Dude, I remember going to see movies that I didn't even really want to see just because I heard that the sick trailer was gonna come out before it.
yeah. It's weird, dude. And like you know, just to drive it in more is like now you get the trailer come out, you get the reviews, you get the fucking Easter eggs, you get, you know, all this shit, and then by the time you see the trailer in the movie, it's like, why is this even here? Like,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, like, just like Battle says, sneak in, watch the trailer, then leave.
yeah,
We'll do
dude,
that.
it's yeah. And times have changed, and I even went down that nostalgic path when I rented this movie. You know, Amazon, right? You just scroll on
Mhm.
Amazon, you search for it, and it's like $3.99 to rent it. You click it, and boom, it's there. And I was like,
Mhm.
dude, back in the day, like renting a movie, like you had to not only drive to the store, you had to walk the store, walk the aisles, you had to find, you know, what you wanted. Then you had to go and check, see if they had it in inventory or see if it was already rented out.
Yep.
Then you got to fucking, you know, drive it back home, and then you get to watch it. And it's like you got to do all that in a day or two again to take it back. And it's like, holy shit, man. Like,
Yeah. Like the new releases you could only rent for like 2 days or something
yeah.
like that. You remember there's a cap, but
Yep.
like the other one you can rent for 5 or something like that.
Yep. Dude. Yeah. Or
Man, good times.
somebody put the wrong tape or CD in the box. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I
Or it
remember.
wasn't rewound and you had to fucking rewind it yourself.
It's insane, dude. So that's
Oh, so there's
definitely 1996 problems.
that.
We're taking you guys all the way back, dude. We'll throw in a
Uh,
little
there you go.
1996. We're there now.
Yeah, we're there, dude. Um, cool. So after the super aggressive intro title, we dump right into his origin story. Where, you know, he's a little boy. When I say he, we mean Billy Zane. But he's a boy, and he's on a ship, and he sees his father get killed by some pirate gang, right? And then he like the kid jumps overboard into the ocean and swims to the shore by himself. And I was thinking, like, man, that's fucking weird. Like this movie already is something else. And like I didn't remember any of this shit, right? So I was laughing when I was looking at it last night. Um, so now he's on the shore. A tribe, they like immediately see him, they find him, and he's just like thrust into this ceremony where they're presenting him with a magic ring, and it's gonna help him avenge his father's death and against cruelty and piracy and all sorts of world evils. And like when he becomes a man, he's gonna just gonna be the Phantom. And I thought that was the weirdest shit, dude. Because like, first of all, he's like the whitest kid in the world that just landed on this island with, you know, these foreigners, and they could not look different from him. It almost looks like an Amazon rainforest, like the way that they were dressed.
Yeah.
Like those tribes where you haven't seen them in like 5,000 years, but they still exist and they're still wearing the same shit.
Yeah.
But like, you know, for them to just like, oh, there's this kid here, let's just that's the one, that's the Phantom. And then, you know, you bring him in and just indoctrinate him into this whatever fucked up like ritual that you guys have going on. So I thought that shit was crazy.
Dude,
It was funny.
yeah, there was like there was mixed messages about it because when I watched it, I thought that was Billy Zane's dad was the kid. So I thought it was his grandfather that like got killed. So
Mhm.
I don't know which one's right, but
Oh, is it? Was that?
that's what I thought what it was, but I could 100% be wrong.
Oh,
But
maybe you are right, dude.
I did find some fucking funny shit out though. So apparently in the comics, because this follows this origin story follows the comics,
Mhm.
and so apparently the kid who's the first Phantom,
Yeah.
his name, him and his dad share the name Christopher Walker. So it's
Oh,
like,
that's so
dude, can you imagine Christopher Walken in the fucking Phantom costume? Like it's like passed down to him, like through his family.
Oh my god,
Completely
dude.
different movie. But yeah,
Totally different
it
movie.
made me do a double take when I was reading about it. I was like, wait, what the fuck? What's his name?
Yeah. Christopher Walken is the
Um,
fan.
dude, and like that's the tough thing about watching these like 90s movies, watching it with like today's eyes, because it's
Mhm.
like, dude, it's this whitest dude, and of course it's set in an African country, so it's like this white dude is like this like African village's savior. Like,
I know, dude. You're looking at it, it's like, man, there's no way that they would get away with this shit now.
no,
You can't
yeah,
do that at all.
that's the answer right there of why it's not coming back.
Dude,
Why it's not
that's
being
like
touched.
prime, build up white people time, like the 90s. It's like
Yeah,
there was none of this. Let's get other people and other races involved, and like it's an outrage now if you don't have
yeah,
anybody
and
of diversity, or if you have to be non-binary now in order to get a role
yeah,
for like the latest action movie. So it's
and
like, I don't know.
and honestly, like it sucks because they start out that way, and I was like, okay, like I didn't think that way immediately. But I don't know if you had something to say about the first scene before I move on really quick
uh
about the landing on the
that first one.
island and
No, 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 just like how the whole thing was just really, really strange. And yeah, like I was just like, okay, well, we're doing this then. So yeah, we can move on to the next one. But I
yeah,
will say, like, as soon as that's done, as soon as it like, and then he becomes the Phantom when he's a man, and then like it blasts you with the title screen, and it's just like this is the Phantom, and it's that super generic like hero font.
yeah, it's this font,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's like a font that we all use. Like we use it, and it's just like if you go and look at fonts and it's like comic book font, and then like that's the one.
superhero font. Yeah, and it was as just having an art brain, like it's just a weird choice to have the P slightly in front of the H, and then the rest of the letters.
That's
Like
true.
it's just weird. Weird choices, but that's 90s design. But uh I was gonna say, because I didn't immediately think of the white savior thing or any problems yet, like with this movie, until the very first scene, and then they show this like tribal kid. I was like, oh man,
Oh my
like
god, I can't wait to talk about this because this shit had me
dude.
cracking up last night.
Yeah, so they have a kid that's it sets you right into and correct me if I'm wrong. So it shoots you right into this action scene where this guy's driving, looking at a map. They're in a jungle. They're trying to get through. You don't know what they're searching for, but there, of course, there's a local village kid who's like in the truck with these white dudes, and he's interpreting things and telling these guys where to go. And like, of course, the main guy with the map can't understand him because the kid's speaking another language. That's how these movies go. But the scene the first scene that I had a problem with, the kid actually, they needed, so the kid like corrected him on the map.
I can't
And
even like think about it. It makes
dude,
me
it's so fucked up. And the guy's like, oh, if I was going the right way, I would see a bridge, but all I see is jungle. So he drives, and of course there's a sign saying like stop, like old bridge or whatever, right? And so they look at each other and they go, oh, I'm not driving across that thing. And then the other white dude's like, yeah, me either. And then the guy's like, well, we came this far. And then so they make the fucking village kid take the risk and drive the fucking truck. And this kid's like maybe 7.
Dude, he's like 6
Maybe
or
7.
7.
Yeah. And he's fucking driving this truck with all their equipment and shit in it over the sketchy bridge because they didn't fucking want to.
It was so funny. It's fucked up, right?
It's so terrible.
I can't believe they made him do that. And like back then, I don't remember it being like an outrage or anything like that, or nobody
It
said
wasn't.
anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, like we're just supposed to accept that these guys are like, you know what? Let's make the kid do it. Let's make him drive across this sketchy ass bridge that's being held on by
Yeah.
like a rope, a single knotted rope, and
Yeah.
it's been there for like 1,000 years. So that shit was funny as shit, dude. But like, I think those guys, they're pirates, right? So I mean, like they're like the guy that was leading them is like it's like a modern day pirate.
Yeah. Pretty
going on.
much like, modern day, like a bad Indiana Jones. Trying to fix
Yes.
something on the fly. So, but yeah, basically like a bad Indiana Jones, like somebody who's trying to steal an ancient artifact. Think of that in the 90s and you'll think of this dude, like, leather, leather bags, fucking torn up like cloth, like clothing.
Oh
and
man,
the
dude,
Indiana Jones hat. It's stereotypical.
that was the note I had was like, dude, they straight up ripped off Indiana Jones because like when they go in the cave and like inside the cave looks like it was pulled directly from one of the movies before it. Like the guy had a
Absolutely.
fedora on, like a 5 o'clock shadow, and like the same sort of like smart ass attitude. And it's like, dude, it looks just like it, and they were totally ripping it off. But like, dude, I don't even know if you noticed, but after the kid drives across the bridge, and they were like, well, let's keep going, and then kid was like, nope, not going any further, because there's this ghost that watches over our
Yeah.
area. And then they were like, okay, well, we're gonna go, and they tie the kid up and just fucking leave him in the jungle by himself. That happened because like not only after making him go across the bridge, then they tie him up and leave him there. And they were just like, just leave him, it's fine.
No,
then,
we'll need you later.
Yeah, it took off. So he's this little kid just sitting in the jungle now. But anyways, they're in the cave. They're looking for what we don't know what it is yet, but they're looking for one of these skulls. That's like the 3 of them brought together. It's always like some sort of, you got to bring these artifacts together, and then they give you like powers or whatever. Like you have all this stuff, right? So they're trying to find the first one, and what was it? I guess the local tribe knows that they're there doing it because they've been watching them through the jungle, and they like summon the phantom, and they just start like beating these drums, and it's almost like a tribal call.
Yeah.
And then and then the camera just sort of there you go. There's one of the ones that they were after. Which is pretty cool. Like I actually like the way that those look.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not fully like skeleton skull. I thought it was a weird, interesting choice, but pretty good on them. It's original.
Yeah, I think so too. I like the color in it. I like the green that they use for the eyes. Anyway, so they like once the tribal call comes out, it shows the phantom sitting in his lair, and it's like the camera pans on him, and it looks like he's been ready, and he's just been waiting for to be summoned.
Just sits there. It's that scene we saw in the trailer. Let me
yeah, the scene where he's just like sitting on his throne, his like rock throne.
And I will give it to him because that shit looks like it was taken directly out of a comic book.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, I get it. But it's this scene right here. Right?
Yeah.
He's just fucking sitting there waiting. Doesn't have nothing else to do. Yeah, and then let me pull up his suit.
Oh man. That's just, I don't know what that screams to you, but I think that's look at that. I mean, that's certainly a choice.
It
right?
100% is, and there's actually some interesting things I found out about the suit. So in the comics, he actually has I don't know if it's black and purple or black and gray, but he has like the striped like underwear that was like on all of the superheroes back in the 30s and 40s. They actually screen test with this, but they quickly took it out, and I think it was a good choice. But the other thing that's funny too is Jim Henson's company actually made the suit, and they originally put in rubber muscles that, like what you saw in Batman, it was going to be exactly like that, but purple. Billy Zane showed up to set day one, dude, and let me give him a quick lightning, because Billy Zane showed up day one to filming. They immediately took out the rubber suit because he showed up too buff.
Dude, I that is one of the things I have in my notes. As soon as they did that shirtless scene with him, which is like his very first scene out of the costume, he was fucking ripped, and I wrote it down. I was like, damn, Billy Zane was ripped. And like, dude, you could tell they were like, hey man, you're gonna have your shirt off for this scene, and so like he did nothing but train just to be ready for that.
He got
hats off to
jacked.
him. Because like back in the day, that's tough to do without all these crazy like supplements like the Rock takes and shit. So like there's like no help, and he had like he did a really good job.
Yeah,
and like 0% body fat.
I just thought it was fucking hilarious. That like, you know, imagine like they're developing the suit. Oh, and I didn't even tell you too, because they were developing all of this with fucking Bruce Campbell in mind to be Phantom. Wow. He was the original choice. He had done screen testing. He had gone through the process, and so they were planning on him. And then something happened, and Billy Zane got the role.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, fucking weird. So like, to go through all that trouble already, here's a shirtless Billy Zane. But yeah, dude, go through all that fucking trouble, and then like this guy shows up on set, and you're like, oh shit, you're way more jacked than we anticipated. So we're just gonna
made it happen, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna fully change the suit.
Redesign the suit.
Get rid of. We don't need any of the fake rubber muscles, dude. I thought that was just. I was like, you know, bravo to him, man, to just show up ready.
Yeah, we gave him a lightning bolt for that, right?
Yeah, we can give him another one.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to do. That dude didn't have a carb for like however long he fucking trained for.
Yeah.
So.
That's what he was doing, dude. He was sitting on the throne waiting for them to film his scenes. That's why he didn't eat anything. Like they didn't give him like any water or food.
He was fucking just sitting there hating himself. So they call him. Okay, we'll jump back now to the plot. So they call him. He as he's leaving, they do this nice little homage to like the earlier Batman movies of like the close-ups of each part of his outfit that you see for the first time. Yeah, of his equipment, his little belt, and the guns and the holster and all that stuff. It was like those like the Joel Schumacher Batman movies from the 90s. So they did that. He goes after them, right? And he's got a wolf too. He's got a companion. I forget what the dog's name was or the wolf's name was, but clearly that's his only friend there. And he's just sitting in the cave with his wolf buddy. And they go after these guys, who now has one of the skulls. And dude, like it's so funny because that, you know, the guys, the pirates, they jump in their truck, they got these machine guns, and they're driving and they're shooting at him, and it's just fucking Billy Zane in a spandex purple suit, and he's on a horse and like gaining on him with the horse, and they're shooting at him with machine guns. Not one of them's hitting him. He's got his one pistol. He's just shooting single bullets out of the pistol, and it's like perfect shot with all of them.
Of course, yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, man, this is like paint by numbers 90s action. It's like insert scene here and then insert this next part here, and it's like
absolutely. And
I got the feeling that they weren't even like trying to make this movie good in any way.
They just took the template from what's worked and then plugged in Billy Zane in a purple suit. And dude, it was impressive though, whoever was riding that horse, because that shit was they were jumping, the dude was ducking like under trees and shit. It was straight up in the jungle. And yeah, dude, and he had a little 1911 45 caliber, you know, and somehow defeating these Tommy machine guns. And and I looked it up really quick because I was like, I wonder if I'm remembering it right. But so his wolf had a sick name. His wolf was actually named Devil. Dude,
Oh, okay.
and then
Yeah, that makes. I remember that now.
randomly, so the wolf is Devil, and then his horse is named Hero.
Yeah, dude. Talk about like fucking just throwing in the towel. Like, you're not even fucking trying at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for Billy Zane, who showed up at like in the best shape
Ready
of
to
his life.
go. Yeah,
Yeah, that he like this was his moment, and like they fucked and they fucked him up, man. It's terrible.
yeah.
Uh,
He's actually been on record saying like the promotion was terrible for the movie, but he's not like mad or sad or anything that he did it, but he was just like, yeah, that movie was not promoted or cut very well.
oh, dude, I feel bad. One of the things I loved about it too is like the stunts. Whenever they're doing stunts, and especially during that one scene with the horse when he's chasing after him, like you can clearly tell it's not the same dude.
Yeah.
Like just by looking at the face, like that person is so different looking than him that like you could see it. I was like, you don't realize that shit when you're smaller
No.
watching. You just kind of go with it, right? And even I feel like even back then nobody was actually looking for that kind of shit.
Mm-mm.
But like now, everything is so analyzed down to the fucking frame that like you just see those things and people look for them now. So now it's just something that like I'm not even trying to see, but
Yeah.
I do see it, and like it takes me out of the moment too. I'm like, oh man, that guy looks super different.
Yeah, and it's especially with the quality that we were viewing it in back then. Like you wouldn't
Yes.
see that, and so like nobody was tripping. But now that they've up-resed all these movies,
Yeah,
I think they even offer it in Blu-ray and 4K now, and I'm like, I
dude. Yeah,
don't
you
want
could
to watch a '90s movie in fucking 4K and make it look even worse, dude. Like,
see little fucking ingrown hairs that look like pimples, and like now, but like back then you couldn't. It was all grainy.
yeah, exactly.
Um, let's see. So yeah. Okay. So here's an interesting point, right? When he was like that first scene when he's shirtless. Well, by the way, he fails to stop the pirates from stealing the thing.
Yeah,
Um,
he failed because he got distracted. He saw one, the main dude had like was it a hand tattoo?
yeah, it was the spider. So well, like they call it the Brotherhood.
Yeah,
Again, very cliched. It's like they
the
couldn't call it
the
anything else. It was
Brotherhood. Yeah. The Secret Society Brotherhood. So the pirate had that, and then so the Phantom's like, "What the fuck? You're part of the same. We're part of the same Brotherhood, brother." And then yeah, that's how he foiled his own, rescue mission of the skull or treasure, the Brotherhood of the Traveling Pants. Exactly. That's
Yep. Yeah, and Battle also said the pirates went to the Stormtrooper School of Marksmanship
exactly.
because they sucked. Yeah, they can't hit a damn thing. So yeah, he failed, right? And like you said, because he mentioned or he saw that they were part of the Brotherhood, and so the guy got away, and then we cut to the next scene. Oh, he stabbed him too, right? He stabbed him in the side,
Mm-hmm.
and so the next scene we see is with his shirt off. He's over in his wherever he lives. It looks like a little like library or study or something.
Yeah.
All these books and everything. And he was talking to somebody. We didn't know who it was at first. Turns out, like later on, we find out it's his dad that he's talking to, his dead dad. So, the man has issues as well. He needs to go talk to somebody or take something. I don't think sitting in that tomb 24/7 is doing him any good.
Just on that throne.
Yeah,
That's
sitting on
probably
his
why he's
throne.
hallucinating.
Yeah, dude.
You need
So
some
he's
sugar.
talking to his dead dad. And like so we see like okay, so he's actually, but in all seriousness, he's a little fucked up, right? Because in order to be talking to your dead father, that's got to do something to you. So we start to see he's a little crazy, and I was like, you know what? And as Billy Zane was talking, I was like, dude, I could see him being maybe a dark horse candidate for Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Like as he was talking and like his mannerisms and I don't know, he could have given it a shot, I think.
In the 90s, he definitely could have. But yeah, we'll get into that a little. I'll bring that up a little bit later because I was thinking the same thing. Like this is very, later on in the movie, it gets very Bruce Wayne Batman-y.
Yeah.
But so this scene, I forget what he's doing. He's just talking to, I don't know who that guy was.
It's his dad.
No, his dad. Yeah, that's right. His dad. And then somebody else come in after he's done
Yeah, it's
talking?
like the little the nurse that was like tending to his cut,
His
or
wounds.
stab wound. Yeah. But like in that scene when he's talking to his dad, we basically get the whole plot of the movie, which is like, we got to stop the Brotherhood. They're looking for all 3 magic skulls. If they get him, then the world is over, and you're the only one that can stop it. And like, literally, that was what he said: is you're the only person that can stop it. Which is like, again, I started seeing all these. I started creating a checklist of things that I was starting to expect to hear.
Yeah.
After seeing this stuff, and like I was just checking off the boxes as it was happening. Like I fucking called all this shit, and it was so cliche, but it was like in a funny way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, here, you want to know what 90s action was all about? Here, check this out. And then you've seen this one, you've seen them all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this is almost a subgenre, because we said the same thing about Double Dragon. So it's like, you know, oh, you want to see what 90s like adventure movies were about? Like, choose this. If you want to see 90s like futuristic movies, like, choose Double Dragon. The one thing I was gonna bring up that I did like, and I still like today, within these first scenes that we saw, right? We get the kid saying like, "Oh, it's protected by a ghost, a walking ghost." That's what they keep calling the Phantom, is a walking ghost. And you know, we get to see how this legend, like why it's the lore is there, you know, within the people on the island and the people who don't know him personally. We get this lore of like this walking ghost, who's they think it's one guy for like all these years that the forest has been protected. But then when he's talking to his dad, we get to see that, oh, his dad was the Phantom. So it's a mantle being passed down. But everybody thinks it's the same guy for the entire thing. So they think he's immortal. So I was like, okay, like at least they made sense of that. And at least they, you know, they clarified it. They did clarify it with a talking ghost. So, but still, it was there.
Yeah. Like I actually do like that aspect of it, that it's passed, and they explain it at the end, but like how it's passed down from father to son, and like it stays in the family. And so because of that, I feel like you're right, dude, that like maybe it was his great grandfather or something when they show in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And like that's when we find out at the end that it just constantly gets passed down.
Yeah, because there was, I forget how many years they jumped, but there was some jumping from the pirate ship days, and then straight into, I think this movie takes place in 1938, which I thought was a cool homage too, because like if they tried to do it modern day 90s, it would have been weird. But the fact that the comic started in 36 and this movie took place in 38, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of nice.
That's probably why it has that Indiana Jones feel too, because those movies were set way back then too.
That was an easy way to, I feel like it was an easy way to get away with shooting in a different country and not trying to do 90s things like, you know, in 90s movies. So I feel like it was a good way to go about. And this dude, you know, this costume, I can bring it up again. This costume in the 90s would look weird, but like if you're like, oh, this movie's set in the 30s, it's like, damn, like this is hella futuristic for the 30s, dude.
Right? No, that makes sense.
What material is that? Like,
dude, up until last night, because I never really looked at it that hard. I thought he was just wearing an eyepiece that just stuck onto the eyes. And I didn't notice until yesterday that it's actually a headband that wraps all the way around his head, and like just the purple spandex is just pulled up over it.
Yeah.
I noticed that for the first time.
Dude, and you know, like Batman movies, he does have eye black in there too, so.
Oh, we have our Batman moment later on.
We do.
That.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to save it, but dude, it's so hard to not compare this movie to Batman.
All right. Okay. So speaking of paint by numbers, in the very next scene after we find out the plot of the movie, we meet the love interest. So it's again just like thing after thing after thing after thing. It was just like perfect, right? Um, and she was her name is Diane or
Yeah,
Diana,
Diana.
Diana Palmer, and which is Christy Boner. So there you go. um, but she kind of reminded me of Peggy Carter a little bit from Marvel.
Peggy Carter, Wonder Woman. Yeah, she feels the same. Yeah, I guess she's more Peggy Carter because I'm thinking Wonder Woman in her movie. When she's not in her Wonder Woman suit. But that it's also like a 40s like action movie. So
Yeah,
maybe it's just the wear of the time. But yeah, her attitude, her demeanor, her everything is kind of Peggy Cartery.
yeah. I was feeling that vibe. Battle says the costume looks like a straight to video ripoff costume from today. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, dude. They the budget for that costume was very minimal for sure. I
Yeah,
think it cost maybe $50 to do that whole thing.
possibly. Yeah.
Um, so dude, so the next thing I wrote down, which was I was like, holy shit, I can't believe that this was a thing. They're showing Diana, and she fucking got sexually assaulted right on camera. Like, dude, it was crazy because some guy, which I assume is just like her work buddy, who is just trying to like ask her out, but instead of like the, oh, like, let me take you out, he straight up came over and kissed her right on the mouth and was like, oh, we gotta go out, you be good together, all this stuff. And I was like, what the fuck, like that. Can't do that at all now. That's so inappropriate.
Yep.
And I can't even believe that was a thing back then.
Yeah.
Doesn't, like, I was like, what the shit did I just see?
It's wild, dude. And like it's like, oh yeah, just joking. Like
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
attitude they took towards it.
I was
Holy
I know,
fuck.
I had to sit for a second. I was like, wait, hold on. Like, I feel like, is that her boyfriend? And then I was like, no, I don't think so, because I think she gets with the Phantom. And as the movie kept going on, because I wasn't sure if that was going to be a thing for me, like, right, talking about this, because
Yeah,
if they were together, it wouldn't have mattered. But
exactly.
by the end of the movie, I was like, oh, they're not together. And it was like, okay, well, yeah, he just straight up fucking kissed her on the mouth, and she didn't even want it, dude.
Yeah.
It was like she looked so uncomfortable too.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing. I was like, okay, like, maybe they're together. Let's let the scene play out. And then like there was nothing else.
Yeah, there was nothing else after
Like,
that.
holy shit, dude. Like, that's fucking wild. So
And like the studio was fine with it. Nobody cared.
nobody said anything.
They were just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So anyways, that would never fly today. And then the very next scene, again, by paint by numbers, so I'm sure somebody could guess, but we meet the major villain in the next scene, which is not the pirate guy from that stole the first skull.
He was the pirate guy was working for him.
Yes. And it was like I forget his name, but he's the pompous douche, like rich guy that wants to take over the world. And it was just like so cliched and so him. And so that's the guy. And look at those skulls. Those would be cool candles, actually.
Yeah.
Like to have them set up like a nice little Easter egg.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. And what did we say? Okay. So yeah, basically we meet him. We just show that like he's got. Actually, he has the first one. So he gets the first skull. They know where the location of the second one is. And so they're going to try and go get the second one. And they're like, one of the things I wrote down, like they have Pan Am Airlines, dude, way back then. It was like a super early version of it. It was like we see him for the time that it was set in, like to have it be that early. And it was like one of those like water planes.
Yeah.
Where you can land in the water, but it said Pan Am on it.
I wanted to take one of those things so bad, dude, from these movies.
Oh yeah. Wait, what things?
The boat plane.
Oh yeah, dude. And they use them a lot. Actually, yeah. I think every plane they flew in this one, but it was a boat one.
Yeah, of course. It was the coolest thing with these adventure movies. The coolest thing you probably got to do.
Yeah. So there was a brutal part, actually. I mean, they didn't show the brutality of it, but when you can see the villainous side of this guy with the money is when he made the guy look in the little the fuck's it, dude? Like the science, not
The
like the little
microscope.
telescope. Yeah, the microscope, dude. Um, and he was looking at it, right? And they saw the word liar, and then it like cut his eyeballs out. I was like, oh
That was
shit, I'd never seen that before.
that was insane, dude.
Yeah.
Cut him or burned him. I forgot what they did. But yeah, the rich guy's name is Xander Drax.
Xander Drax.
Dude, and he was like, which 90s bad guy, template. Like, he's got to have an exotic like first name with an X or
Oh, dude.
something. Let me pull him back up. But
Yeah, Xerxes.
yeah,
With an X though.
dude, and the one thing I will say about this guy is that like I think he had most of the comedic moments. Like, I was actually like laughing at some of the shit he was doing and saying, because I wish I could remember it, but he dropped a really good one-liner when that dude's eyes got cut out. It was like,
yeah, I don't know what he
shit.
said. But yeah, dude, yeah.
It showed like, yeah, how psychotic he was in this brutal scene. He's able to just keep on joking. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, like it wasn't a big deal. Yo, what up, Joel?
Hey,
He's
Joel.
here.
What's going on?
Thanks for jumping in, dude. All right, so yeah, after that, we get like this another parallel between Batman and this is we get like a Batman James Gordon type meetup. So over back where I don't know what is it, like they're not an island, but like whatever village that they're a part of and protecting.
Yeah, it just says that it's a made up African country, Golana, something like that.
Golana sounds right.
Yeah.
I just saw this last night. I should know. So yeah, they basically
Bengala.
You were close, dude.
Close-ish. There's a G.
We see like the police or the inspector or whatever. Like he's going into his little hut, and as soon as he gets inside the hut, he just sees Phantom sitting on his chair, like eating his fucking food, and just like waiting for him. It was a little different than Batman. Batman wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But, he's like, oh, why didn't you just come through the front door? And he's like, oh, I like coming through the window. And it was like, that's what he said, as he's eating his food. So there's that. It was like super weird.
It's weird and creepy.
He comes and he meets up with him, and they're trying to get the dirt on what's going on. And like that's when he just takes off after that, because once he finds out that his crush, Christy Boner, it was in trouble. I guess she got is that when she got kidnapped? Yeah, she got kidnapped. Huh?
She got kidnapped. She was snooping around trying to check something out with the that had kind of involved like these missing artifacts and shit.
Yeah, she was looking into it. She like flew out there from New York to go look into it.
Yeah, to see
she got kidnapped.
What happened. Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as the Gordon guy tells Phantom that she got kidnapped, he takes off right away. Again, very similar to Batman, because like they don't show him leaving, but like as soon as they cut back, he's gone. Dude, go ahead.
I was gonna say they had a weird discombobulated thing where he reacted to her, I think, first being there and then getting kidnapped, and it was like they didn't tell us that they knew each other yet.
Yes, so we don't know that they know each other yet.
Yeah, but his reaction was just awkward, like, oh, like, and then I was like, how the fuck do you know who she is? Like, you guys didn't even see each other.
That was his face. He did do that.
It was super fucking weird. So yeah, I thought that was a weird storytelling, like pacing and choice.
Totally. Yeah, it didn't make sense. So he's going to do some recon. He's trying to find out where she is, and he shows up to this, like, I mean, he's in the jungle, right? So he's like trying to figure out where she is, and she's on a ship. But like, I was cracking up, man. It was the funniest shit ever, because it's broad daylight outside. The sun is out, and he's just wearing this bright fucking purple suit, and set against the back of the trees, which are like green, they're like dark green. He sticks out like a sore thumb, and he's like, you're gonna see him from super far away.
Yeah.
The only purple thing in the distance of nothing but green, you're gonna see him. He's like, you're gonna fucking see that.
You're not hiding in anything.
So noticeable, especially the way the sun was, and like it just made it more pronounced, his purple. So I was laughing, dude. He's like,
and
I was cracking up. I was like, man, this movie is funny.
Yeah, and they added tribal to the suit, but it's like that's not helping any camouflage, dude. Like what?
No, no, no,
This
no, no
tribal
way.
skull pattern? No fucking way. Um,
So yeah, he sees the ship. He knows somehow that she's on there. He's going onto the ship, and that's when we see Catherine Zeta-Jones for the first time, and she's the bad person, or she starts off this way. I've never seen her in a villainous type role before, so that was interesting. It didn't look like she was comfortable doing it. As I was watching it last night, it didn't seem right for her. This is probably her one shot. She was like super excited to do it, and then it didn't translate well, and they told her, they're like, no, no, actually you should probably stop doing that.
yeah, yeah, it didn't work out,
Strange casting choice.
and it was
It's like
weird.
she always plays like the good person
Yeah,
in
and
movies.
it was weird because she played like this like fancy, clean, like bad guy. Like it was very I don't know how to describe it, but it wasn't like gritty. You know how you sometimes see what's Tim Burton's wife's name?
Oh, Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, you like she plays like an evil character, but she's very like disheveled and like
Yeah.
like gets her hands dirty. So Catherine Zeta-Jones was still kind of being herself, but then trying to come off as evil, and I was like, it doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that bad, is it? um so yeah, so we see her for the first time. Um the next thing was had me dying again, and it was again very inappropriate. But Phantom just bursts into this room, right? And he's got like guns blazing, guns drawn, and he's ready to he's like gets in the room, and then we see from his point of view, he's looking at all of these women, they're naked, they're showering, and he's just the guns drawn, and dude, he was just like, ladies, ladies. As soon as he gets in there, like it was totally normal, right? Not an excuse me, not a nothing, not like,
Nothing.
oh, looking away, or whoops, my mistake. He was just like, hey,
Yeah,
ladies.
just continuing to sit there and watch, and I couldn't find the let me see. Yeah, I didn't find an image. I thought I just maybe popped up a video, but I think it's the uh I think it's the scene directly after that. But
Oh, okay.
we can check it out if you want to watch it real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me swap over. But yeah, it was
But yeah,
super.
no, you can't do that shit now. Like
Yeah,
you would get in
there's
trouble for
no
that.
way you would get away with that, and it's just like, you know, just super cheesy. Like, we're already in the movie theater. You don't need to add this.
Oh, dude, this is the next scene. This is the one I was going to talk about next too. So this is perfect.
Yeah,
Is this when he busts in?
it shows. Yeah, so it
Oh
shows
no,
both.
dude,
It
is that the
shows both.
scene?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So he's, like they have her captured. Catherine Zeta-Jones delivers like an evil monologue. It's super cheesy. Of
Evil
course,
monologue.
this letter that tells her where everything is, like she had in her boot. So Catherine Zeta-Jones is a female bad guy, so she likes her boots. So of course Catherine Zeta-Jones didn't notice that envelope fall out. There's just so many conveniences that they took, dude.
Dude, this movie was PG also.
Yeah, and it's
Isn't that
like,
crazy?
yeah,
We're over here saying like, oh, that would never happen, but like, it was PG.
dude, yeah, and
See
straight
that?
up, yeah, just guns blazing in a
He
restroom.
totally just he doesn't even care, dude. I was laughing so that whole sequence is just out fucking rageous.
Yeah, and I was fucking dying at his exit right here, dude. He's like, "Oh, laundry chute." Whoop. And he's
Just jump right in.
6'4", 250 Billy Zane just spits down a laundry chute.
And he ends up conveniently in the right place.
Yeah, and he
And
delivers.
his one liner right there. And he's
Yeah.
like, "What is this? A ship full of women?"
Fucking terrible, dude. Terrible,
You know
but
what? You know what I
hilarious.
appreciate, dude. Though, like in his delivery with everything, is that he kind of gives me like Christopher Reeve Superman vibes too. Like with how, because he seems like generally like a good person, and like how he's just super positive and is just got that like the very non-Batman thing. Even though they're both crazy,
Yeah.
And they share the parallel in that way with this movie. I think they try to inject a lot of that really like warm Superman flair into it because like the way he talks, he's just is almost like a Boy Scout.
100%. Just a good, generally good guy. Yeah, a little bit, cheeky, but like, yeah, it's they gave him like a good, like decent, like human persona. Not
Right.
this like overly good guy, and of course not a bad guy. So it's just hilarious, dude.
Oh, Battle says the look on Christy Swanson's face. So I feel you, dude, but like I don't. Her name is Christy Boner. Right? We gotta call her Christy Boner
From Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, if nobody was here to catch that reference earlier, it's from Dude, Where's My Car? And the Zane swagger, yeah, dude, he does. He carried himself very well in this movie. He was a very confident man.
Yeah.
So okay, so basically he.
Really quick before we move on.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about another weird choice, and it's in the same scene. So in this scene, he frees Christy Swanson, right? Christy Boner. Excuse me. He frees her.
I love that. That's gonna be a thing.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, has him by gunpoint still. They get awkwardly flirty here, which I was like, what a weird choice, right?
Dude, look at the look on her face when he snatches the gun.
Yeah, and watch this shit. What the fuck?
That's so funny. And he's totally cool with it.
What a weird choice. And he's like, all right, I'll see you later. And she's like, it's like, what the fuck, dude? Why does the first time we meet this, Catherine Zeta-Jones bad guy, why is she just like, oh my gosh, he knocked the gun out of my hands. Come here.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. What the fuck?
She really went for it. That's all it took, huh? That's just, why is it not that easy in regular life?
Why aren't girls just running around with guns that you can smack out of their hands?
Oh, dude, yeah. So
shit.
Amazing. But yeah, that whole sequence right there, again, like that's the kind of movie that we were watching. And it was really, at this point, I started to see the movie as like a comedy because it was making me laugh more than I was sitting there getting blown away by the awesome action or crazy story. Which again, the dialogue up until this point was like atrocious, and the dialogue is throughout the entire movie is absolutely horrendous. But like the comedy is what saved it for me. Up to this point, I was able to keep watching.
Yeah.
Okay, so so he saves her, and then the bad guys are starting to leave. They're running away. What is it? Oh, dude. Oh, well, they have like a giant chase scene.
Yeah.
They're getting away. They jump into a plane, and they start to take off. And then there's this one. The as he's chasing after them in his, what is he doing?
He's on his horse.
He chased them in?
Was he on his horse?
No, he wasn't on the horse, dude.
He
wasn't on the horse yet. He was. What the fuck was he? Because his wolf at some point, as he's chasing them, the wolf goes over to the horse and is like animal speaking to the horse.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come on, we got to go get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to go. And then the horse jumps up, and then they both start like running after him.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think you might just be on foot.
He held on to the fucking plane as it took off. So he's on the plane. We actually have a picture of that. Dude, I was laughing so hard because he was on the plane and he held on for dear fucking life, right? For
Look at that, dude.
How long, dude? He jumped on when it was night, and they show him again in the morning, and he's still holding on. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? There's no way, man. There's no way. There's so
held on to this prop plane. It's a biplane, right?
He's just holding on to it, man, until it fucking lands
without them knowing.
Oh my god, that was the funniest shit, man.
That was pretty good.
Look at that,
dude. The fear in his face, like an exhaustion.
He doesn't even know like where they're going, how long he's got to hold on for, and like the wind speed is easily could knock you off at any point.
And who knows where you would be. And like, yeah, at this point, I don't think he's eaten for a full day. No water, no food.
Absolutely.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, and they didn't fucking notice him in this bright purple suit on a gray silver plane, dude.
That is amazing, dude.
It's hilarious.
Look at that. Okay. Well, so let's move on now. But dude, it's like the ridiculousness of that whole thing. I don't know. It took me out. It's like, come on. Like
Yeah.
I'm willing to accept most things as of somebody that loves a man dressed as a bat committing, stopping crime. But
Yeah.
like that was too much for me.
Yeah, that's where you draw the line.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
this is a good time to mention it. Like, this is a fun movie if you're just watching it, like just to throw it on. Like, but yeah, when you actually pay attention to it, it's not that great.
All right, so he rescues her, takes her back to his lair, and it's like very reminiscent of the Batcave as well, with how it looks, just without all the high-tech gadgetry, but it looks like the Batcave. And the entrance is like, it's like, what is it? It's like the skull, like the magic skull, but it's in a rock formation. So it's
a secret entrance, but it matches his ring. It matches the skull on his costume.
And it's not even super secret because it's really fucking tall and big, and like you can see clearly it's a skull. I feel like if I was there, I would want to go explore that.
Absolutely.
You would see it from a distance and like, hey, let's go check that out.
Yeah, all these Indiana Jones looking guys.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. How did they not find this?
So they're chatting, him and Christy Boner, and then he takes her to this room because she's gonna leave, and he's got like this room of priceless treasures. And he gives her some like special ancient pearls, and I quote, "to remember me by." So I don't know. Again, I was like, man, it's like cringy for me. Here are these magic pearls so you can remember me.
Yeah.
When you go home.
Dude, and at this point it's like confusing because he reacted like he knew her, but she's telling her to remember me, but like, what? Like, do they know each other or fucking not, dude? Like, what the hell?
Battle says he gave her a pearl necklace. Yeah. Literally. Well, I guess one of two. Actually, I don't even know if he actually ever does. No, the end of the movie he doesn't.
Do
Interesting. What? We'll get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about Phantom After Dark. After that, for the other pearl necklace.
The overextended A4.
So he after she leaves, she goes back to New York, and he is talking to, I think, his dad again or something, but saying like, I have to go to New York because they know the location of the second one. I got to stop them. So he makes the trip to New York, looking very Clark Kent when he gets out of the taxi.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah.
Like very beatnik reporter with the hat and like the glasses and the suit and all this stuff. I think we have a picture of it. But like his cab driver took him there, and like, yeah, there you go. I mean, he looks like Dick Tracy. He looks like just like a PI, every PI in every movie ever.
Every PI in every 30s and 40s movie. It's like, dude, and like at this point I was like, this hell just reminds me of Chris Pine in Wonder Woman. It's like the same thing.
I feel too.
Maybe it's a period piece thing, but it's like, dude, like, did everybody have like tan overcoats and fedoras in the 30s and 40s? Was it where's maybe the bankers are the only guys who aren't wearing hats, like, but they had the little round glasses, like. But I wonder,
like, would you be down if we just implemented that again as like a male style? Just like everybody wears a suit and like a nice coat and all this stuff. Like even when it was hot as fuck outside, like they were still wearing full on nice suits, and like that's just who you were. You had a cool hairstyle. It was all done. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the least they still had on a tie and a vest. Like if they took the coat
Yeah.
and jacket off, like they still had on a
Yeah.
tie and a vest. And I would be down if that shit didn't cost like fucking an arm and a leg for like nice things, you know? Because
That's true.
I wouldn't want to wear the same one like every fucking day. It's like yeah, and as Battle says, like everything was tailored, like fucking
Oh,
hell, dude.
totally.
Like if you make it affordable, yeah, absolutely. But goddamn,
Dude, yeah, for sure. I would love just like to walk around in a tailored suit all the time.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's super
and
expensive to get a tailored suit.
yeah, I have I knew a few people who were bankers, like, and it's just like because they always got to be dressed up and in suits and shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's tight, but I'm sure it gets fucking expensive real quick, like dry cleaning, like everything that comes with it, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh
But not for him.
nope, of
His
course
was
not.
already ready for him. Um, so yeah, he gets out of the cab. The cab driver was like, yeah, well, he's looking for the money, right? And he doesn't have money because he's not from there. So he just gives him a shit ton of jewels. And was basically, dude, I don't remember the line, but basically it was like, here, watch my shit. Well, and I'll be back.
Yeah,
So he had to wait for him.
and the guy's like,
Um,
"What is this?" And he's like, "That's plenty in your money." Like somehow he
yeah,
knew the
exactly.
exchange rate, but he didn't have any money.
Yeah. Here's a giant fuck ton of jewels, precious jewels that are probably made that dude like one of the richest people in the city, like
Yeah,
having all those. Um, So we see them. We see the bad guys again, and they're talking about the three skulls when they come together. It's like they give you this immense power, which I wrote down because they mention it a couple of times, but they keep the only way that they're describing it when the three of them come together was just that they're gonna have like this immense power.
immense
But
power, and it's
yeah,
like,
but they don't know. They never say what it is, or it's very vague, like the
yeah,
description that they give when that comes together. All we know is they're just gonna be super powerful, and we don't know in what way.
yeah, it's the insert '90s, superhero trope.
Hmm.
Immense power. That's what the bad guy's after is immense power. Who knows
Yes.
what that means, but
So he's trying to trick oh shit.
oh, you
I crapped
can.
out. What is that, dude?
There you go.
There we go.
Marcus
So
is Marcus is Max Headroom this today. It's
yeah,
an
dude.
AI version of Marcus, and yeah,
We programmed it to think and talk like me, but it's actually not.
there's still some hiccups. It's still in beta. It's Marcus Headroom.
um so yeah, the bad guys are in the boardroom, and he's the one dude is trying to convince them all to like, let's go after this skull, the other skulls, because if we do, then we're gonna have all this power. And they were all on board except for one guy. He got up and he's like, no, fuck this, I'm leaving, I don't want anything to do with this. And then dude, it's so fucking savage, he gets speared in the back
Yeah,
by the rich guy, dude, and he javelin through that shit and like right through his back. I was like, oh
and it's
shit, dude,
like
we
this
never see that.
ancient artifact he just has around, and he just fucking chucks it and kills him.
It was like from clear across the room.
Yeah,
And like that was some power. So I
and
was like, oh shit.
yeah, and this scene too. I think it was this scene where he puts the skulls together. Because the skull that we saw them collect in the beginning was actually the second one, right? Or am I wrong?
The one that they stole in the beginning, I think, was the left one, the silver one.
Yeah,
The very first one they stole. Oh yeah, that's right. Because when they brought it back to him, she
you
was
already
like, "Oh,
had that.
I even put toothpaste on it and like shined it up."
Yeah.
Whatever. And he looked at her all crazy.
But yeah, and this is the scene where he holds both of them together, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. So after he spears the dude, that's actually why Phantom was in New York, was to go for the second one, and it was in like this
Correct.
museum, right in the case. And
Correct.
he's there with Christy Boner, and they're in their regular clothes, and he just like breaks the case and shatters the glass and just pulls it out of the thing. Um, and then the bad people they are there looking for it too. So they see him, they like hold him down, they take it from him, and then now they have both of the skulls. And then yeah, that's what you were talking about over the scene where they put them together, and it's supposed to point to the location of the third skull, which it does. They start lighting up and they shoot lasers at a conveniently placed map on the wall, because there's a map there.
Of course.
And it points the location to where the third skull is, and then that's where they know that. Um, this is the scene where we also find out that Phantom and Christy Boner know each other
Yeah.
because Catherine Zeta-Jones put it together, based on the one scene that they had where I guess she looked jealous that she was kissing her. So she like put it together. Oh, they know each other. They're in love for sure. So she puts that together, and I was laughing, dude, because when he wasn't in his suit either, when they're all being held there hostage, he's just acting like Phantom. Like he talks like him.
Dude.
He like doesn't change his voice inflection. He doesn't. He like looks
His
and considering she just saw him like the day before in full outfit, like you would know, dude.
and she
It's like
made out with him.
the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just and you can feel the presence, and that's what I was gonna say. That's the one thing that may hurt Billy Zane as Bruce Wayne, because like he just acts the exact same, dude. His mannerisms, like his stances, where he's just standing there with his chest puffed out.
Yeah,
it's like
the Superman stance.
Dude, you got to be somebody different, like for them to not notice you. Like, what are you doing?
Change your voice, like go
Put on
lower
glasses, God.
like, dude. Yeah, put on glasses. It works for Superman. So yeah, like I was laughing because I was like, dude, go. It's super fucking obvious that he's not even trying to change. But like she notices it too. Christy Broner does. You can see she's putting it together. Because obviously, right? And what is it? Oh, they since they know where the location of the third one is, they take off, and then they start going to, I don't know, it was some like random island, right? Like some fucking ancient island. I think it was the same pirate gang that was from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, another ancient African island.
Yeah. Let's see. Battle says the only time Billy Zane played somebody different was in Star Trek. It was in the Star Trek reboot. Was he in there?
Yeah, I forget who he played, but I remember seeing his face.
Like the recent ones with Simon Pegg and Zachary Quinto. Oh wait, he was Nero? No fucking way. Oh shit, dude, I don't even remember that.
Let me see.
I only know Billy Zane from this movie and Titanic. Oh, and some random, what was it? Tales from the Crypt. He was in that too. I think he was the bad guy.
Trying to find. Yeah, I can't.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Anyways.
So
sidetracked on Billy Zane facts.
Yeah. So they take Christy Broner and they leave Phantom back behind. They're in a car. They're driving away. He gets into his suit. he goes outside, and they're in New York now, so they're in the streets, and he goes and chases after them. I thought they were gonna do the cliched car chase, like they hadn't had one yet in the movie, so here it comes, and he jumps into the cab, but it turns out like the cops are after him too, so they're like, they open the door, and so the cab doesn't get into a car chase. And I was like, oh, okay, so they're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But what's the next best thing, right? Oh, he sees a horse, so he's gonna jump on his horse, and he's gonna use his horse, and the horse starts to chase down the car, and of course it's gonna chase him down because it's the fucking Phantom on a horse.
Yeah, and somehow, and the horse isn't his original horse, but somehow
it's a cop horse.
Yeah. Somehow from horse Twitter, his horse reached out to the New York cop horses and was like, hey, my purple dude may jump on you.
Okay, so he's chasing them down, and dude, I was again, a common theme was laughing a lot because he's like going into the wood, like the woodsy area, I think, and because there's like, I remember there was trees and shit, and the cops are chasing him. They're on motorcycles, and they're like doing wheelies on their motorcycles,
of course,
and like jump tricks, and like, dude, there was a scene when he like, the guy, there was like a wheelie jump, right, and he was like holding it, and he was like posing like as he was doing his thing, and like the camera angle was shot from below, so it looks super cool. But these were regular cops, and one of them was overweight and old, and
Yeah.
like it was so unbelievable when he saw it. He was like, "There's no way this fucking guy's doing that."
Yeah. These free motocross, jumps and shit. So
Um,
fucking awkward. That was a really, really weird and awkward chase scene.
yeah, it was obligatory. So
No,
they
nothing about it felt natural. Like
no,
a horse
they're like,
chase in New York. Yeah. It was
yeah.
just extremely weird, dude.
So it looks like he's gonna get what, I don't know, hurt or something. They were gaining on him, and then like his cabbie, the cab guy
He's in
just shows up
trouble.
out of nowhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like picks him up. He knows exactly where he is. He came when he picked him up, and so he was safe. Um, let's see.
And
Oh, dude.
he realized it was him in the suit.
Yeah,
It's like,
and he also found out he's a straight up psycho because, like, dude, he started talking to his dead dad again in the back of the
in
cab.
the cab. Yeah. And the cabbie
like,
just
he didn't
keeps
even
looking
give a
at him.
fuck, dude. He was just like talking to his dad, like right here, and the cab driver in front was looking back at him like he's fucking nuts, right?
Yeah.
It's like anybody would. And dude, he must have been thinking, "Holy shit, man, this guy's nuts. This guy's out of his mind."
But he seems like a good guy, so I'm gonna stick with him. It's like, you'd fucking kick this dude out of your car in a heartbeat, dude.
Just like, and then he sees that the cabbie's looking at him crazy, and he's just continuing to play it off like it's totally normal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's fine that I talked to my dad. Like, it's not weird. I'm not weird, okay? That's just
weird.
like the vibe that we got from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they all end up at the cave where the last skull is, and dude, it looks just like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yes.
Disneyland, the inside of it. When you're in the water part, well, it's all water, but like, yeah, look at that, dude.
Dude,
Like,
when you asked me to put up this picture,
mhm.
I was like, is that the same set as the water ride? Like, I had to do a double take, and then I was like, is this the same costume as the water ride, that striped shirt? And
Dude,
like,
I know. I was looking at it and I was like, "Oh shit, they must have like filmed inside of the ride or something," because it did. It looks just like
it
it.
looks just like it. The whole scene, the whole environment does, dude.
And then it was at this point, because this is like the end in sequence. It's like they fucking ripped off the entire, like their whole movie. They just ripped off from other things.
Yep.
Like nothing about it was original. It was all literally from the way that it looked, the costumes, the set pieces, like the cliched action stuff. Like, dude, it's all there. And it's like, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, this is one we didn't bring up, but yeah, these bad guys, they're stereotypical 40s bad guys.
It looks like the bad guys from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah, and these few movies that came out around the same time, that are often like this movie's compared to, is The Shadow and The Rocketeer. And it's like, dude, like they all could have shared costumes. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. They probably did, dude. Those are probably the same costumes.
yeah. Same extras, same sets, just different angles.
So they get there and we start to see the pirates that inhabit this cave, which we saw in the other photo that you had brought up. Like they're getting taken hostage by these guys. They don't know that the one dude is actually part of their spider brotherhood, the brotherhood. But then we see the leader of the brotherhood come down, and I didn't know this, but it was the guy who played Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
And he's got like the perfect bad guy voice. He's got that really low register voice, and he talks with like such evil intentions, and like his face just looks like a bad guy. Like,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him in real life because he's probably like, he just looks intimidating, without even meaning to.
I feel sorry for his family.
Dude, I love the what is it, like that fish? What's that fish called that has like the long whiskers like that?
Oh, like a catfish?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
Looks like
it's almost a Fu Manchu, but there's no long like middle part. But yeah, I was like, okay, like again, 90s stereotypical thing. It's like if you're putting if you're putting another ethnicity besides a white guy in there, they're evil, or they're
Yeah,
evil, or like some like kid that helps out the bad guys. It's like,
he's got to be a bad guy. He's
yeah,
not white.
no. Yeah, so I was like, okay, but this dude, you're right, dude. This dude is a scary fucking dude. Um, he has a great bad guy voice, a great bad guy like presence.
Yeah, his whole thing is just bad.
And his whole room is sick. We got this jokester guy, this guy in the middle, who with this suit. He's like a fancy bad guy, in New York and shit. But then when you switch over to this pirate bad guy who's actually the head of the Brotherhood, like his whole throne room is just filled with piles of treasure and like artifacts and cool shit. So it's like, dude, this guy has no fucking idea like how to do it yet.
Totally. Yeah. He needs to take some. Yeah, he needs to learn from.
Take some notes. Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, again, speaking of which, he one of the guys as part of the gang, they were trying to stand up to him because he wasn't playing hardball with them. So he came up to Shang Tsung, and dude, these are not the names of the characters. Like Christy Boner and Shang Tsung, that's not them, but wrong movies. But that's how I remember them. Anyways, he still has to stand up to him, right? And fucking Shang Tsung lights a cannon and shoots the dude with a cannon. I've never seen that either, like in any movie. I haven't, like, it was straight up. It wasn't like a cannon was getting shot and he just happened to be part of the collateral damage of it. Like he straight up got hit with the cannon.
Yeah.
Like blew him away, dude, and like the body just like flew across the whole fucking like little temple thing they're in.
Yeah. It was a ragdoll, and the cannon was maybe like 5 feet away.
Yeah, dude, you got blasted with that thing. And then like the ragdoll, dude, you just see it flying.
Yeah.
Like he's going across the room. That shit was funny. Like that with the eyes getting fucked up.
Yeah,
I was like, okay,
those
like,
are two
I haven't
brutal
seen this
scenes
before.
for fucking PG.
Exactly. And sexual assault and all that good stuff. So racism. The fight choreography had me dying, dude, because like how slow and painful it was. And it's crazy because we're always going to compare. It's just our nature to do that. But like coming from watching the movie like the Batman with like amazing choreography and everything looks good, and
how everything's super fast.
Go to this and like everything is really like slow because like these actors, you can tell like they were trying to teach them to do like maybe 1 or 2 moves and like just do it slowly and let's get the shot. But like it looks like they're just fighting painfully slow. It's not realistic. So I was making
it looked like it was shot slow and they tried to speed it up to a realistic speed, but like it almost feels like the speed matches were off because you're right, it's like a punch and it's like,
yeah, it's like people that are hesitant to go through it and do it quick, like fast, because they don't quite know the moves. Like like they were thinking, everybody was thinking.
It was and it was like 4 fights going on.
Yeah. And the whole thing was like that. And I was just laughing. I was like, oh, this is the big fight scene, huh?
Yeah.
And then Shang Tsung, man, his death was so fast. He died. You'd expect some sort of like back and forth with him and Phantom fighting. But it wasn't. Basically, he just went to go and like he had the Phantom at gunpoint and he was walking him back and to fall into his shark tank shark fucking infested waters,
of course,
and backing him up, and then all like what if Phantom like tricked him out or something, like he moved out of the way basically and then like tripped him into falling.
Yeah,
and so
it was
Shang Tsung fell in from like a random like trip, and got eaten immediately by the sharks that were in there. So there was like no fighting, there was no
big scene.
Like, there was no big scene. He just fucking fell in, like literally, dude. He tripped and fell in. So there's that. And he's such a good bad guy too. So,
and he was so cool looking. His whole lair was super cool looking, and they just fucking got rid of him super quick, man. I remember that was a huge bummer, dude.
The studio was probably like, oh, can we get on with this, please? Can we just get this shit over with? Let's wrap this shit up.
It was very weird, dude. And like this dude's the head of the Brotherhood. This dude's led all
Yeah,
these guys, but somehow
totally.
he can't avoid a quick dodge and trip by the Phantom. It was I'm trying to look for the scene as we're speaking, but it was a quick side dodge and then like
Yeah,
trip, and that was
yeah,
it.
it was a side dodge trip, man. He got him with it, and classic.
The
He fell
classic
for it.
side
He
dodge.
fell for it, man. It was
It
like
was it
the
was
combo
very
for the first Nintendo or like an Atari. That was like the only thing you could do.
yeah, it was very what do you call it? Who played the original Batman in the TV show? Adam West.
Adam West, yeah,
It was very
yeah,
Adam West fight scenes.
totally. What's good is all that fucking muscle that he put on. If all you're gonna do is dodge and trip, I
That's
don't know.
that
But
it
at least
fakes
he
him
looks
out.
good, right? At least he fills
Yeah,
the suit in. So
he got
that's all
he
that
got that
matters.
shirtless scene in, then was like,
Yeah, dude.
"All right, I'm not doing anything else. It's not in my
Then
contract."
oh, dude, he had a cheeseburger after that and then never came back from it.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what happens when you don't eat a carbohydrate for however many years he trained to get in that shape.
And just sit in the throne, waiting for somebody to come to you.
Oh, dude. Okay, so here we go. Shang Tsung is dead. Now it's the rich evil guy, Xander, whatever. Yeah, Xander with an X. Um There we go. Yeah, there it is. And this is where the we find out that there's actually a fourth skull. It's not 3, there's 4. And he was able to shoot like these death lasers out of the 3, which we find out that's what the power is like
The
it shoots
immense
like,
power is lasers.
yeah, this really really hot laser, and that was going to take over the world with that. But he was shooting it at Phantom, and Phantom was like, "Oh, I know what the fourth one is. I've had it my whole life. I've been wearing it, and it's his ring." Which again, from when we talked about in the very beginning, before we even started reviewing it, the movie dropped the biggest like they just basically said what
They
the
gave
twist
it
was.
away. Yeah.
Was the fourth skull was his ring, and it also shoots out lasers. And
Yeah.
so it took on the 3 lasers against his 1, and he's holding his hand back, like this, and
Yeah.
like they're having the battle, like the lightsaber battle with with these lasers.
The classic
And
laser shot, they had it where it's like giant bad guy lasers versus the one weak guy laser, and it's like
yeah,
this. Yeah. They did the whole
the
fucking
back and
thing.
forth. Yeah, they did. They really went for it. And of course, Phantom wins and incinerates the evil douchey guy with his purple laser.
Straight to dust.
And then he defeats them, and so that's good. It's a good thing. We're supposed to feel good about that. And so they go to leave the lair, right? The girls, who are now friends, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Christy Boner.
Yeah. And in that fight scene, that's where Catherine Zeta-Jones flips and becomes a good guy. She realizes like somehow like she's been on the wrong side the whole time. And then it's like, oh, well, the Phantom's here. Oh, I made out with him. He's got to be good.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man.
Dude, they so underdeveloped her character, and then Christy Boner, like they didn't give us shit on them or how they knew Phantom or why they liked him or what the fuck ever, dude.
Literally, we're just supposed to believe that this is working when it's not working.
Yeah.
And so the ladies are in the submarine. It's taken off, and then again Phantom, because he likes to jump on things in this movie, he jumps onto the submarine and it like holds on to it again for dear life as it's navigating its way out of the cave, and then has to go all the way up to get to the surface. And like, dude, the guy likes to hang on to shit, man. Planes, submarines, all this shit.
He's hanging on to shit. Emotionally, physically, he's hanging on to it.
Hanging on. They get to the surface, man. Like it's like basically like end credits. They have a threesome in the submarine. No, that doesn't happen. But that's what in my version.
That's on the
That,
Blu-ray
that would,
uncut.
yeah, that's in the director's extended edition.
Extended A4 edition.
He takes him and Christy Boner. He starts telling her about his family legacy, and this is where we find out like Phantom always takes his father's place, and like talk about fucked up pressure, right, to put on your kid.
Yeah.
Like your son, you have a son, you just groom him his whole life without him knowing to like take over this legacy, like whether you want to or not.
Yeah. And I think they're talking about it in this scene, like they're already talking about kids. Which I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what it was. He was like, the only people I can tell are myself and the woman I'm gonna marry. And then he's like looking at her,
Yeah.
like she's supposed to just say yes. And then I don't know. And then he was like, well, if I'm gonna pass it down, that means we need a child. And it's just like, oh, dude, man, it was so. I don't know what the word is, but you know what I mean.
And in this scene we get another Batman reference. But it's funny because they actually did it. I'm trying to find a clip. I couldn't find it either earlier, but they did it correctly in the Phantom and somehow fucked it up in Batman. So in this scene, where he reveals like his identity to Christy Boner, it shows him taking off his eye little like mask.
Yeah.
But like he's fucking with it, and then I think it switches to her, and then it shows him just bloop, and like his eye black is off. Like they don't they don't show it. In the Batman, they had the mask on with the eye black already off, and then they showed Michael Keaton taking off, and it was like that's fucking weird. Like this one, they chose to fuck up continuity, but it looked so much better, dude. When he has the eye black and he's like starting to take it off, and then they pan to her, and then like it's already above his eye, and he doesn't have the eye black.
Yeah. At least that's a little. It's not so jarring when that happens. The other one was funny as shit, like the Batman one.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
To show your eyes like without the black makeup on after just seeing them with it on is weird, and to follow it taking it off, that's a strange
choice. It looks
choice.
like a Halloween costume when there's no eye black there.
Yeah, it does.
Here we go. We
did you get it?
I got I have the Michael Keaton one that we can check out. So that the scene goes straight from eye black with the mask on to no eye black with the mask on, and then he takes it off. And like the Phantom, let me see. Yeah, I'll keep searching for it, but
yeah. Okay,
so let me we can just show you guys a quick close up of Billy Zane. So like like his eyes, they're black up until the eyelid. So they just go straight from that, and then when the mask is off, like he doesn't have any eye black on. So that's what we're talking about, and like it's so much nicer, even though it does break continuity. At least it's not some weird shit.
Well, so they don't actually end up together because she ends up taking off. She doesn't like stay with him. She leaves, and he's fine with it. And then, dude, they start to do the voiceover as it's ending, and it's like saying that she's gonna have a change of heart and come back like after a year. Dude, they actually fucking said that at the end. And it's like, oh, looks like it didn't work out for now, but we have a feeling she's gonna she'll be back. And like to try and set it up for a sequel or something, like they already have it thought out, but there's no way that sequel is happening.
Yeah, they were going for that, but it was so awkward. It felt like whoever was writing the audio or writing the dialogue for him didn't speak to the person who was writing the script for her. Like it was just like, what are you guys doing? Does she not want to be with him? Does she want to like fucking decide? Just decide and go the same direction. Like that's not a cliffhanger. You already killed the bad guy. You already revealed the Skull secret. You already took down the ancient brotherhood that's been around from his great grandfather days. So it's like
Yeah, you've already banged every chick in this movie.
multiple times.
A little
It's like,
kid, a little fucking poor kid, and we're in the rainforest, is still sitting there tied up,
still tied
and you're
up,
over here banging Christy Boner. You know, you could have.
stealing people's horses and shit.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
dude, yeah. The movie it's a fun movie if you don't pay attention to it.
So, okay, so we did it. We got through it. Now we do. I guess some like final thoughts on it. I could see why I would have liked it as a kid, just
Absolutely.
because it's upbeat and it's like it's fun. All the corniness you wouldn't really even know or understand at that point when you're smaller. You just
Yeah.
kind of take it in, and like the action, which for its time was cool enough, enough for me to remember it and to just like have the visuals in there. But
Yeah.
um, but like, dude, after watching movies, recent ones like the latest Spider-Man and the latest Batman, like it's just hard to get on board with something like this that feels like absolutely no effort was put into it at
Yeah.
all. And it's like they were all just there to get a paycheck, and like nobody tried in that movie at all, dude. Like it was so obvious that that's the only thing that sticks with me after watching it.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up because it is a weird character that DC owned for a little bit in the 80s to 1990, and it's weird because so DC owned it 1988 to 1990, and Marvel owned the rights to the Defenders of the Earth, which he was a part of, from 1987 to it only had to be 1987 to 1988 before DC Comics got the rights. So this guy's been bounced around. This movie felt like it. This movie felt like nobody knew what to do.
Yes.
But it, I said it earlier, it is a fun 90s movie, like if you don't pay attention to it. Like as a kid, like I understand why I was super juiced because it was so different than anything else that we were seeing in the 90s. It mixed, like an Indiana Jones feeling with like a superhero like Batman feeling. Like I get why I was into it. And like even to, just a few days ago when I was looking up the box office numbers, like I was actually so shocked that it was a huge box office flop because I remember I was super pumped as a kid. I went back and looked at what the critics said about it, and they actually gave it a 3.5 out of 4. They gave it like pretty high praise for the action at the time and for the visual like effects. So like
Jesus Christ.
It was just like purely like consumers that didn't like it. It was ticket sales.
Yeah. Well, because it sucked, dude.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Yeah. Nobody was going back to see it.
Yeah, that's for sure. They saw it the first weekend and were like, ugh.
Yeah, nobody talked about it afterwards. They're like, oh, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, nothing. No.
Dude, there was that movie. They're like, oh, I saw The Phantom, but you know what, dude? You should go see it because the trailer at the beginning was fucking awesome.
We'll just leave after the trailers, dude. Get your money back.
Yeah, you're really not missing much.
Holy shit.
But I feel like nowadays, man, they could make that pretty cool. Make the story more interesting for sure, like up to today's standards. It would be cool to have a hero that's like kind of crazy because he's talking to his dead dad.
Yeah.
So like almost like what Moon Knight's about to do, where you're kind of like you got some sort of mental illness.
Yep.
But you're not traumatized over it because he's clearly he's not traumatized by it.
His dad's a mentor figure.
Yeah. He's still able to be smart and charming and warm and like charismatic and stuff. So he's not dark like Batman, but he's crazy, because he's talking to a dead parent. So
what it reminded me of actually was Titans. He talks to Bruce Wayne and Bruce Wayne's not there. Like,
yeah, that's true. I can see that, dude.
So it felt a lot like that. And it's like, there is problematic things like with, his backstory. But they're fixable. They fixed and addressed a lot of shit in other superhero movies and gotten around it. And DC does I believe DC has the rights to this to the Phantom franchise like today. And I also think that there's still some of these newspaper comics going on today. Definitely in a much smaller capacity because it was global before.
Right. Yeah.
But they said there's still some newspaper syndicates circulating these comic strips up till 2022. So,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, and I think if he is brought back, like, I think there is a way to do it. I don't think it's super futuristic and in space like this, this sci-fi one that we got. I
Yeah.
don't think that's the answer, the Judge Dredd route.
Yeah. Look at that.
Um,
Like, there's no that guy didn't have to get in shape for
no,
this.
no, he's just a dude. But I think it could be sick, man. I think, as a DC like rated R show,
Yeah.
I think it could be pretty dope. You know, just skirt around the weird white savior, the weird misogynistic side of it.
Oh my god.
Just
That was a
get
whole.
around that weirdness. And I think he could be a sick character. And he is cool because he's not super powered. He's not super high tech. He's just got his two pistols, his horses. He's a weird bridge between like a very natural superhero, somebody like Black Panther, but Black Panther's even super high tech. So he's like a bridge between like that natural world with like a Batman or with somebody like in the city. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. There isn't somebody off the top of my head. I can't think of anything that's like him right now.
No. It
So
would be cool. It would be it would warrant like you said, like maybe a show. We can do a pilot and see how it tests and see what happens.
yeah,
Maybe even an animated show. I don't know. Maybe an animated show works better to see if there's any interest.
yeah.
To see if it does well. Like Invincible.
I was just thinking that it could be sick, dude. Like Invincible or like the Boys animated series, like something brutal like that.
Yeah.
It could be dope, man.
So that being said, I don't have any interest in watching this movie ever again.
Yeah.
I think I would probably give it. If I'm being generous, maybe a 2 out of 5.
Yeah. I think that's appropriate. It was fun because I completely forgot it even existed, so it was fun to look it up again.
Yeah, this was your choice, so thank you because that like it was good to watch it again and to like share a laugh or two. But then I'm cool now. I'm good off that.
Yeah. Once is enough for another 20, 25 years, dude. For sure.
I can't even imagine going back to watch this in another 20 years. We should do it again, dude. Like retro relapse.
Oh my gosh, dude.
In 20 years, and we'll come back and watch this again.
Yeah, just keep on going back, dude. That's fucking funny, dude. Holy shit.
Well, thank you to everybody that came on and stayed and listened to us ramble about this movie. It was fun to watch it again last night, but and then I had more fun talking about it now than watching it last night. But thanks for everybody for watching.
Yeah, it was super fun. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see how this uploads. We'll see how this goes. With everything else, wherever else we put up Legion of Geeks, which is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Also, I shout it from my window every Friday. Every Friday at 10 o'clock.
Replay it every Friday at 10 o'clock outside of your window.
Yeah, except it's all from my voice, though. I even do your parts.
You just have a quick like mask like flip over. But hell yeah, man. It was fun. Hopefully we can do Retro Relapse like this again. We got a few other movies lined up. And yeah, man. I think that's all I got for this week. I can go ahead and start the raid. But this is Legion of Geeks. We are here every Wednesday, 6:15 PST. Thank you guys for coming through. Even though we had a few difficult hiccups at the beginning.
Are still having.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, it's a whole bunch has happened. Everything's gotten updated. Marcus got a new computer. We're working out a better call option. So thank you guys for being here while we're getting through it all. But appreciate you guys. Have a great evening, and we will see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later.